All right, so for your final piece of paper, you're going to have a 12-inch by 12-inch piece of paper, or it's right around there. So the first thing that you want to do, same thing I told you before, you're going to draw a straight line all the way across the paper from corner to corner. All right? So there's 1 and 2. So we're just drawing a big X. Right there. Now, we want to draw a smaller X here and another smaller X here. What we want to do is figure out where do we kind of match up those lines. So you're actually going to measure 2 lines or 2 marks on each side that are, kind of an equal distance apart. So if you take your ruler, we're going to line it up. You're going to notice it's going to hit right around 12. So we want to make a mark at 4 inches and 8 inches. All along each side. All right, so now that you have all those marks, it might be kind of hard for you to see, but we actually want to play connect the dots. So we're going to connect this mark with the one that's down here. Even if you can't see it on the video, you'll be able to see it on your paper. And just make sure that you're going straight through the center. So if it's not 100% matching, move it over just slightly. And then you'll match these other 2. And again, if it's not going straight through the center, just move it so that it is. And you'll do that for the other 2 as well. Now you have lines that are relatively even, so you got your triangles that are even. The last thing that I want to make sure to remind you to do is to actually make your 1-inch marks. Now some people had an issue with this. Remember, you're measuring from the center on out, not opposite. So my number 1 should be closest to the center. So 1 inch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right? And you're going to do that for each one of these. Do not skip this step. It's really easy to tell the people that have skipped it. All right? After you've done that with all of them, then you can start doing your arches. For example, in this one right here, if I do my measurements, the arches are going to go the opposite way. So instead of going up, we'll go down. The last thing people had trouble with was some people's arches started getting a little off, where it's not a perfect arch, kind of like a rainbow. So the last thing I'm going to show you is a tip to make sure that your arches look nice and neat. So if you just draw an imaginary line through the center, you can erase that later. You can actually make sure that when you do your arches, your highest part of your arch hits that line. And then you start coming back down. So you could see now I'm getting better arches just because I'm keeping in mind where that's hitting. All right, the last thing that I want to talk to you about is how your colors are going to be. All right, so I'll bring our example over from the other day. Okay, so I started doing this the other day where we chose complementary colors. You should have already chosen your colors, but you're going to choose complements, so those are the 2 colors across from each other in the color wheel, and you just have to have the lighter version of each color in the inside. Don't forget you're going to be doing the black on the outside. You should have already practiced that. But what I wanted to show you here was if you focus just on one section, you could see that I'm doing opposite, right? Blue, orange, blue, orange, blue, orange, and I'll just keep going. Once we add in the one to the next, we actually want to kind of reverse it a bit. So where this is orange here, you're going to have blue. Where that's blue here, you're going to have orange on the other side, and so on. Because you want to think about it as a little bit of a, squiggly, section. So if I have orange here, I don't want orange over here. All right? This is something that people mess up on a lot. So what I might suggest is once you have all of these made, you sort of write in a little bit, or like the first letter of the color. So if I have blue here, I know I need orange right here. If I have orange here, I know I need the opposite, which is blue, orange, blue. That way, when you get to these, you can go, okay, that's an O, I need to do orange. So I'll erase all the O's, I'll do my orange. Once you're done, you can erase all the B's, do the blues.